Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome. So, uh, here we are with all the important things related to the music and folk dances of India. Correct? So, we are seeing all the important things in one shot. We'll try to cover what are the important things, which type of questions are asked. Correct? So, have a look. I'll start first with the questions. What kind of questions are asked in dance? First, we'll see the dances. Folk dance, classical dance, correct? So, what are the types of questions asked in dance? So, see, have a look. I've included PYQs also here. There are PYQs as well. Okay. Which of the following is a classical dance of Kerala? Means what? States and dance, correct? States and their dance. Bihu dance is associated with which state? See, same thing, just asked in an opposite manner, correct? Which classical dance form originated in Uttar Pradesh? So, see, you can see direct questions on states. Whenever you are studying about classical or folk dances, their origin states are very important. Okay, their states of origin are very important. Then you should remember the list of classical dances of India. How many of them are there? Any idea? Can anyone comment how many of the classical dances are there? Any idea? Anyone? No idea? No worries. We'll see in this class. Okay. So, state also when it comes to performance characteristics, like which is performed by women, which one is performed by men, which one uses mask, which one uses mask, correct? So that's why these are important. Whenever you are studying about dance, study about their state and characteristics. Now, one question will be which dance uses ghungroos or ringing bells in foot, correct? So, we have to be careful. Like, which of the following is from Kerala? It is Kathakali. Also, when you're studying about dances, you're make sure you know the etymology. Kathakali, Katha, portraying a story through dance. Kathakali. So what it has, it elaborates costumes and Ramayana Mahabharat storytelling. It is one of the 8 recognized classical dances. So see, you got your answer. We have 8 classical dances. Correct? So we have 8 classical dances. So I told you Kathakali is Katha through Kali, correct? We use elaborated masks in this, correct? We'll see this in a while. Next is Bihu dances associated with Assam. So Bihu is also performed in Bihu festival. Okay, there are some dances performed in some festivals also. So Bihu is performed in Bihu festival. Okay, Kathak. Which of the following is from Uttar Pradesh? So it is Kathak. Evolved from North India, Kathakars, storytellers, and features heavy Mughal influence. So next time the question will be which of the following dance has Mughal influence in it? Direct question will not be there that Kathak belongs to which state. That is a very easy question, correct? Instead of that, they will ask which dance has Mughal influence or As I told, ghungroos in foot. The dance performers wear ghungroos, so that is Kathak. Uttar Pradesh, Bihu, Assam, and Kathakali, Kerala. This is how we have to pursue. Then we have Garba and Dandiya Ras are famous folk dance of which state? They are the famous folk dances of which state? What do you think? Folk dances are important. Classical dance obviously important, but folk dances are also important. So they are from which part? Gujarat, associated with Navratri celebrations. Okay, so sometimes you have to remember the dance and the festival associated with it. So please remember Garba Navratri. Bihu is Bihu festival only. Okay, which among the following is not a classical dance of India? So eight classical dances must be by heart. Eight classical dances must be by heart. There are PYQs on it, direct PYQs on it. So which of this is not having a classical status? It is Lavani. Lavani is a folk dance of Maharashtra. Satriya, Chhau and Manipuri hold classical status. Okay. Lavani is a folk dance. Satriya, Chhau, Manipuri are classical. Now, what is the difference between classical and folk dances? Am I right? This question arises, no? What is the difference between classical and folk dances? So, what is the difference? We'll have a look. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain. Why explanation is important? Because after that, the concept is clear, so you can reach the answers very quickly. Okay, okay. Yakshgan is a famous dance tradition, drama tradition of. Can anyone tell without seeing the answer? Who can tell? Yakshgan is a famous drama tradition of Karnataka. Okay, it combines dance, music, dialogue, costumes in a folk theatre tradition. Okay, so please remember Indian dances are of two types: classical, theatre, folk. We'll have a look on this. So, now coming to the theory part. I showed you what type of questions are asked, correct? Now, let us have a look. So, we have two types. One is classical dances. This is classical and folk, correct? The sanctum, court, correct? Deeply rooted Hindu mythology and spiritual devotion. So, for classical dances, we have codifications like Natya Shastra. They require rigorous professional training and lifelong dedication. Classical dances require rigorous professional training and lifelong dedication. They have strict codifications. There are moves associated with it. You cannot do a classical dance randomly. Folk dance is a bit different. It is more supported to the village, the soil, the tribes. They are born from agricultural communities and daily life. They are uncodified. There is no codification and fluid. They are dynamic. You can do your own steps. Correct? They are passed down orally through generations and basically they celebrate harvest, weddings, changing seasons, and local myths. This is the difference between classical dances and folk dances. Okay, examination point of view, very, very important. We need to understand this. Okay, now nine ras are there. Whenever you are studying about dance, you need to know about state, characteristic of that dance, and ras. There are nine ras. Okay, so they are there: Shringar, that is love; Has, laughter; Karun, compassion; Raudr, anger or Rudra; Veer, courage; Bhayanak, fear; Vibhats, disgust; Adbhut, wonder, and Shant, peace. Now, classical dances, they portray all these emotions through classical steps and moves. The question might come in form of match the column. Match the column. They will give Bhayanak, Karun, Adbhut, and Veer, and they will give these. So these are direct Hindi words or Sanskrit words. You can directly remember. Hasya means laughter. We know. Correct. Bhayanak means fear. अरे क्या भयानक movie देख ली. Correct. Or whatever it is. Adbhut means wonder, shocked, astonished. Shant means peace. So you need to remember these nine ras. Okay. Very, very important. I'll make this dance and music today very clear for you, very easy for you. I'll make it so that you are not confused, so that you don't need to go for a rote memory. Okay. I told you there are eight classical dances. Okay. There are how many classical dances are there? Eight. Okay. Now, which are these? Mohini Attam, Kerala. Please take a screenshot, make a note of it, or write it down in your own hands. But it is super important. Kathakali, Kerala. Bharatnatyam, Bharatnatyam, Tamil Nadu. Okay, I'm telling you the states as well. Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh. Odissi, Odisha. Manipuri, Manipur. Satriya, Assam. Kathak, Uttar Pradesh. But are there only eight classical dances? No. There is one more. There is one more. Chau. Chau. C double H. Chau. Okay. Chau. We have done Bharatnatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Odissi, Manipuri, Mohiniyattam, Satriya, and Chau. Now, please tell me in comments which state is Chau associated with. Please tell me in comments which state is Chau associated with. Some of the sites claim 9, some of them claim 8. Doesn't matter, you should know all these dances and their states. Okay, you should know all these dances and their states. Please put in comments and please tell me which one is Chau, which state it belongs to. Chau. Okay, so we saw the nine ras, we saw the mapping of India's classical dances, correct? What is the difference between classical and folk dance? Correct. Now, let us have a look at characteristic. So I explained you regarding the state. I explained Ras. Now let us go for characteristic. What are the characteristics? At least these 8 to 9 classical dances, you should remember the characteristics. They are derived from Katha, Kathak, correct? Kathak, Katha. Evolved in Mughal courts. So please remember it has Mughal influence. Focus on straight leg, complex footwork, heavy ankle bells. These are only called ghungroos, correct? And wedded to Hindustani music. Ghungru Toot Gaye. There are songs also. There are n number of songs in Ghungru. Correct? Famous proponents you need to mug up. Correct? Famous proponents. Birju Maharaj. Very, very famous personality. So when we talk about Kathak, it should not be just that you know about Acha Kathak to Uttar Pradesh classical dance finish. No. You should know they have straight leg postures, they have ankle bells, they are wedded to Hindustani music. So whenever Kathak is there, it is on Hindustani music and Birju Maharaj. These four things you should know about every dance. If there is a famous proponent, you should know that also. Okay. Then comes Satriya, Assam, when it was introduced 15th century. Correct? By Shankar Dev, Shankara Dev for Vaishnav faith. So important. Next time, railway will not ask that Satriya belongs to which state. No, they will ask which of the following dance was propounded or introduced by Shankara Dev for Vaishnav faith. So you should know Satriya. S for Satriya, S for Sankaradev. Okay, S for Satriya, S for Sankaradev, and it belongs to Assam. Okay, deeply tied to monasteries. Distinct stream include Chali, graceful, and Jhumra, vigorous. These are the characteristics. Okay, I hope we all are enjoying the session. Okay, just give it a thumbs up if you like the session. Okay, next, Manipuri. Obviously, the name itself tells Manipur. Treks to Lai Haroba, ceremonial creation theme. It is a festival also. So now see, when you are doing dance, you are automatically revising famous personality also. You are automatically revising famous festivals also. Just like Bihu, correct? Just like Lai Haroba. Focuses on Ras Leela, Radha Krishna stories, theatrical movements, performed without ankle bells to preserve fluid grace, use punk and kartal instruments. Now comes the tricky part, instruments. Instruments. Usually in music, we go, we give more stress to instruments when we are studying about classical music. But in dance also, dances also, if they are used, you should know. So pang and kartal are used in Manipuri. Pang and kartal. Correct? How to remember? MPK. Manipuri, pang and kartal. MPK. Odissi, devotion to Lord Vishnu and Gita Govind. A mobile sculpture heavily relies on two postures, Tribhang posture and chalk. Tribhang posture. Can you recall something from this? Where we have studied Tribhang posture? Can anyone tell me in the comments? Can anyone tell me in the comments where we have studied this Tribhang posture? Somewhere in history. Chalo, I gave you hint also. Somewhere in history where we have studied. Any idea? Can anyone comment and tell me? Or in the chat, live chat, can you put Tribhang posture where we have studied? Something related to history. Okay, do let me know where it is. Okay, so it is related to Tribhang and chalk square. Who is the famous proponent? It is Sonal Mansingh. Birju Maharaj, Kathak, correct? And Sonal Mansingh, Odissi. Similarly, we have other dances also. In our regular courses, classes, I try to cover everything. I try to cover all the dances. I try to give tricks also. My point is not just to teach you what to study. My point is also to teach you how to study and how to keep it in your mind for a longer time. I I stress on my students that they should remember things in exam. Otherwise, what is the use of my teaching? Correct? If you can take out your own anecdotes, mnemonics, tricks, very good. Or otherwise, I try to give my best. Okay? Then we have Bharatnatyam, Tamil Nadu. Post as to Chidambaram temples, Gopurams, they were performed in Gopurams. So this is Gopuram, revived by Rukmani Dev Arundale. Revived by Rukmani Dev Arundale. So see, famous proponent you got. Features Ekaharya style, one dancer, multiple roles, conducted by Nattu Vanar. So just one topic will teach you so many things. Correct? Kathakali blends music, dance, acting to dramatize Indian epics. Which epics? Ramayana, Mahabharata. Correct? Green outer edges of feet are there, elaborated masks. See, I told you, elaborated masks. Next time, railway will ask which of the following dance uses elaborated masks and does uh, epic of Ramayana and Mahabharata. You should know it is Kathakali. Are everyone on the internet today is preparing for all the exams? We are trying to give you the best so that we know, because everyone is preparing, we have to excel, we have to be expert in GK, right? Green indicates nobility, black indicates wicked characters. Ram Kutti Nair, Raman Kutti Nair. Okay, these are the sort of, this is how we have to study. See, once you have studied this, do you think anything is left in dance? Do you think after this any single thing is left in dances? No, because we have covered everything. Correct? Then we have folk dances. Correct? Other dances also I usually cover in my regular batches. Folk dances, folk ecosystems, north and west. So correct, folk dances, I told you, they are fluid. Fluid means easy to go, flexible, changeable. Energetic celebrations are there in especially in harvest cycles. So like we have Bhangra and Gidda, Rauf and Kud. Correct? Now how to remember? Bhangra and Gidda. So you know BJP, BJP is there, party. Just remove this D, J with G. Bhangra, Gidda, Punjab. Simple. BJP. BJP is there, just remove BJP, put BJP. Bhangra, Gidda, Punjab. For those who can't remember, this is the simple trick. Correct? A very easy trick. Next, Rauf. How to remember Rauf? Sir, how to remember Rauf? Rauf spelling matches with roof. And as per Indian map, roof on top, which is on top? J and K. Correct? No, as per Indian map, roof is J and K. So Rauf. Rauf is J and K. Now you will never forget. I challenge you to forget after these two tricks. Correct? And could. Rauf and could in J and K. This is how we have to study. This is how we have to go about keeping the things in longer term, longer memory. Okay. West India. So we have other Garba and Dandiya. So their theme is circular, rhythmic, heroic tales from desert communities. Garba, Dandiya Ras, Gujarat. Correct? Garba, Gujarat. GG. Featuring complex clapping and stick walk during Navratri. So there are those tricks, sticks they will do. All reels, all Instagram users here, reel watchers, you would be knowing, no? During Navratri time, all the reels will come of Garba. Correct? Ghumar, we have Ghumar from Rajasthan. So those who have seen Padmavat movie, there is a song Ghumar. So Padmavat they have shown of Rajasthan only. Deepika Padukone is dancing in that song in Ghumar. So that Ghumar dance is Rajasthan. And she's revolving, spinning. Correct? Ghumar. Now, will you ever forget this? No. Or your dad asked, कहाँ घूमने चले? Where we should go? घूमने, घूम. Sir, पापा राजस्थान. कहाँ चलना है? We'll go to Rajasthan. घूमो, घूमर. Simple. Kachchi Godi, Rajasthan. Okay? So this is how we have to remember dances. Okay? Then we have other dances like Bihu. We already saw. Chow. See, told your answer. Correct? So here we talked about Chow. Correct? Here. So it belongs to Odisha, Jharkhand. Correct? Tribal communities. Chow is also a martial art based performance. Like a martial art based performance. Santhali, Jharkhand and Bengal. Santhal tribes. Santhal tribes perform Santhali. Santhal. Can you give me a Santhal tribe person in today's example? Any famous person we know from Santhal tribe? Can anyone put it in the chat? Let me see how much you know. Today, any famous personality of Santhal tribe do you know? Very famous. I'll give you a hint. She, it is a female. Anyone in the chat, can you put a Santhal tribal person? Very famous. From Odisha. Chalo, one more hint. Any idea? The first citizen of India. She is the first citizen of India. अब तो बताओ. Now tell at least. President Draupadi Murmu. She is from Santhal tribe. Okay, from Odisha. Next, we have Gaur dance, that is MP and Chhattisgarh, Saila, and Matki. So this is how you have to cover the dances. In South, we have Kummi, Karagattam, Theyyam, Kerala, Dolukunta, Karnataka. Theyyam, Kerala, Karagattam, Tamil Nadu, Kummi, Tamil Nadu. These are folk dances. A quick revision for distribution, like a quick, you can say, differentiation. Classical dances strictly governed by ancient Sanskrit text. Folk, uncodified, passed down orally. Correct. Soloist and trained professionals do classical dance. Here, everyday community members will perform. Spiritual devotion to major Hindu deities in classical tradition. In folk, we have social cohesion. Correct. Making life milestones, celebrating local agriculture. Complex grammar of micro movement is there in classical. Everything is calculated and, you know, rule wise. In folk, it is vigorous, repetitive, and macro movements are there. Okay, so this is how we have to go for dances. A quick, uh, you can see, I have prepared a matrix. So you can see East India, Bihar, Bihu, Chau, Jhumar. West India, we have Garba Dandiya. North India, Bhangra Gidda. BGP, remember BGP? Bhangra Gidda from Punjab. Kummi, Karagattam, Dolukunta, South India, and Wangala Bamboo Dance and Chero in Northeast. Okay, now let us come to music. Correct? Indian classical music and Hindustani music. So, Indian classical music, it starts its journey from 1500 to 600 BC. But before going to classical music, let us have a look as to how questions are asked in music. Correct? I told you that when we study dance, we should know states, characteristics, somewhat instruments. Instruments is third priority. But in music, this becomes first priority. Instruments. Then comes characteristics and then comes state. So this whole order changes. This is for dance and this is for music. Hindustani music and classical music. There are two music themes. Now, which, see why I'm telling instruments? First question itself. Which of the following is a Hindustani classical music instrument? Batao. See, first question itself is on instrument. So you must know the instruments. It is sitar, globally popularized by Ravi Shankar. Now you have an idea of a major propounder also of sitar, that is Ravi Shankar. Pandit Ravi Shankar. Okay? Please remember when you are studying about classical or Hindustani music, instruments become the most important part. Okay? Are we clear? I hope we are going good. Any doubts, anything you want, put it up in comments. Please, you feel free to put it up in the chat. Then we have which one of the following associated with Carnatic music. So our music is divided into two, Carnatic and Hindustani music. Okay, we'll have a look on this. So which of the following is Kriti? Characteristic? I told you the characteristic also important. Central composition form in Carnatic music heavily utilizing works by Carnatic Trinity. Okay, make sure you understand this. I told you instrument, characteristic, and state also is sometimes asked, or personality, or personality. Who among the following is known as the saint of the Veena? See, personality based question. Who is known as saint of the Veena? Purandar Das. Purandar Das. Correct? Saint of the Veena. So he is regarded as the path. This is repeated twice. Just cut it off. He is regarded as the father of the Carnatic music for systemizing teaching methods. Father of the Carnatic music, Purandar Das. So, how will you remember father of Carnatic music? He has to be a Dhurandhar, no? Then only he can be a father. So Dhurandhar Purandar Das. Just to remember, to be a father of Carnatic music, he has to be a Dhurandhar, no? He has to be a big shot. So Dhurandhar, who is the Dhurandhar? Purandar Das. Purandar Dhurandhar. Like that you can remember. Okay? Might sound very funny, but that is how we remember things and that is how we get marks. And that is how we get our favorite posts in the exam. Okay? Easy. Which of the following? Okay. So who is the father of Carnatic music? Dhurandhar. No, Purandar Das. Okay. So please remember from Dhurandhar, Purandar Das. Now let's have a look at the music part. So the music traces its origin to Samved. We have four Veds, correct? Out of this, we have Samved, which is the, you can say, the origin of music. How to remember? Music from Samved, remember it as Songved. Songved, Samved, music. Easy. Now I challenge you to forget it. You will not be able to forget it. Nad Brahm. So Samved, Songved. Why? It traces its music origin. Nad Muni introduced Nad Brahm, cosmic sound. Then Sapt Swaras came, evolution came for single notes, Sare, Gama, Padani, and treaties like Silapatti Karam and Karuna Mitra Sagar via pans and octaves or microtones. Silapatti Karam, you have to remember this. And Karuna Mitra Sangara. You can forget everything else. You can forget your friend, boyfriend, girlfriend name, chalega. But you have to remember few important static GK facts. Silpadi Karam, father of Carnatic music, all this. Which is the song wala Ved? Song Ved is Samved. Easy. Let us go ahead then. Bharat Muni wrote Natya Shastra. Okay. Bharat Muni wrote Natya Shastra. From there we have the dance and music origin of this thing. Then we have North India experiencing Mughal Persian influence. So Haripal wrote text in 14th century, correct? Sangeet Sudhakar. Now who wrote Sangeet Sudhakar? Sangeet Sudhakar, Haripal. Okay, makes the first historical usage of the distinct terms Hindustani and Carnatic music. This is why it is important. So Bhakti movement and Hindu monarchs also influenced. Bhakti movement in the south gave rise to classical music, and Hindustani music, it got its origin in northern part of India. Okay, it is based on Vedic philosophy, Persian style is there, and Hindu traditions are. You can observe Hindu traditions. Okay, they are vocal centric. So whenever you're talking about Hindustani music, they are vocal centric. They are not instrument centric. Carnatic music is instrumental centric. Okay, major emphasis on singing style with instruments specifically designed. So see tabla. I told you whenever you are studying music, instruments are important. Improvisation focus. You can improvise. You can change in Hindustani music. Heterogeneous tradition, highly secularized. Muslim influence, Hindu influence, Sikh influence. These are the instruments you have to by heart mug up, bring, put injection and put in your veins. But you have to remember this. Sitar, tabla, sarangi, santoor, and flute. S S S T F SSSTF. Sitar, sarangi, santoor, tabla, flute. SSSTF or SQPF. These are the instruments for Hindustani music. Sitar, sarangi, santoor, tabla, flute, or bansuri. Okay, that's how we go for these things. Then we have characteristics like Drupad, Khayal, Humri, and Ghazal. Okay, they are the forms of Hindustani music. You have to study about pa also and tarana also. They are rhythm based music. That is how you cover your music part. Please pay attention to the points I have discussed. Also, like Carnatic music, I told you it is rigidly codified, correct? Raises a deeply intellectual, restrained, and religious character, heavily influenced by Bhakti movement. Now, the next time Railway will ask, which of the following type of Indian music is based on 7th century Bhakti movement? So you should know it is Carnatic music. There are no gharanas in this. Please remember there are gharanas only in Hindustani music, not in Carnatic music. It is a mathematical system of rag. There are codes, there are rules on it. You cannot do improvisation on your own. Okay. So we have a trinity contemporaries who elevated Kriti composition, Tyagraj, Shyam Sastri, and Muttuswamy Dikshitar. Okay. I told you Purandar Das is the father of Carnatic music, Pitama. How to remember also, I told you Purandar Dhurandar. He has to be a Dhurandar. Correct? He has to be a Dhurandar to remember all the Carnatic music. The father of Carnatic music is Purandar Das. Okay, I hope we are going good. There are 72 ragas in Carnatic music. There are 72 ragas. All these things we study in detail, correct? For the exam, during our regular batches, we discuss everything. I tell how to remember, what has to be studied, what has to be ignored. In today's times, it is important to know what to ignore than what to study, correct? That is more important. Okay, next. So this is the difference Hindustani music, correct? Vedic and Islamic synthesis. They focus on improvisation. Improvisation means slight changes which yourself can do. Vocal centric, Gharana style, heterogeneous and secular. Here we have indigenous Dravidian touch. Focus on codified voice and instruments hold equal melodic weight, no Gharana system, and homogeneous it is intellectual and devotional. What is common? Swaras, Rag, and Tal. They have Vedic origins, that's why. And the music is from Samved, correct? From so you how you will remember Songved, correct? See other type of questions. Which gharana is associated with Hindustani classical music? So you have to know, you should know some gharanas of gharanas is nothing but a place from where a typical style of that music comes. And there will be dedicated musicians from those gharanas. Just like IPL franchisee teams, RCB, Rajasthan Royals, CSK, correct? Khala, Dhoni, correct? So we have just like that they're also franchisees. So if I'm from Gwalior Gharana, I'll perform in the same way. So which Gharana is associated with Hindustani classical music? Jaipur Atrauli, founded by Aladian Khan. So these are the Gharanas. Drupad is best described as, see now, question on characteristic. Characteristic. It is a folk dance, painting style, form of Hindu classical music, or singing or percussion instrument. It is Hindu classical singing. Drupad. Okay, the system of rag in Indian classical music primarily refers to what is system of rag? It is a musical melody framework. This is why knowing things is very important conceptually. Okay, knowing things is very important, knowing conceptually. If you see the conceptual breakdown, rag is a melody framework. It is expressed through a drupad, which is a vocal style, and these rags and drupads are preserved by the gharanas, the franchisees or tradition schools. Every famous musician, if you ask in this thing, Hindustani music, they will be having some gharana franchise. Okay. Okay. Now let us have some more questions. Which of the following instruments is mainly used in Carnatic classical music? See, instrument. I told you. Please don't look at the answers. Try to answer it on your own. Is it tabla, mridangam, sarod, or santoor? Which of the following is mainly used in Carnatic? They are asking. So it is mridangam. The principal percussion instrument in classical concerts. Tabla, sarod, santoor. Remember S cube TF. Sarangi, santoor, sarod, tabla, and flute. SQTF. This all is Hindustani music. Which of the following pair is correct? I told you, match the column will come. Tabla, Carnatic, Veena, Hindustani, Shehnai, wind instrument, Santoor, percussion instrument. Which of the following is correctly matched? So it is Shehnai, wind instrument. So Shehnai, you have seen, they play in during marriages also. Shehnai is a wind instrument popularized by Bismillah Khan. Now, when the next time the question comes, railway is going to ask which of the following instrument was popularized globally by Bismillah Khan. So you should know it is Shehnai. That is why I told you I cover everything in detail in my classes and I associate it with you. I make sure that you remember it for a longer term. Okay? Which of the following musics was famous for playing the tabla? Musicians who played tabla? So it was Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain. Okay, one of the world's most celebrated tabla players. Anatomy of sound diagram. So, tabla player, there are two, three kinds of uh, instruments: percussion, wind, and string. String is like santoor or guitar, also. Wind is like shehnai, flute, where you blow wind, and percussion is by beating the instrument, mridangam, tabla, or drums. This is the categories. Okay, last question for you. Statement based problems I have started doing in my regular classes. Statement based problems SSC has also started asking. Super important. And if you don't practice, they become very lengthy for you. So I practice statement problems. Ka. Hindustani music developed mainly in North India. Carnatic music is primarily associated with South India. Tabla is the principal percussion instrument for Carnatic music. To answer such questions, you should know all the three questions clearly. All the three options precisely. Correct? Is the first statement correct? Yes, obviously. Second correct, Carnatic. Yes, South India. Tabla is with Carnatic? No, it is with Hindustani music. Okay. So which of the following is correct? Option A is correct. Now, if you have listened to this class clearly, this question becomes lassi. You know what is lassi? Lassi is a drink, very smooth and sweet to drink, very easy going. Correct? Lassi. That's why I call easy questions as lassi and tough questions I call them as black coffee. Black coffee. So this was a lassi. It became lassi because you listened to this class very carefully. Okay? That is why it is important for us to understand the questions, understand the depth, and learn in a similar manner. This was all about Hindustani and classical music and folk dances, classical dances. This is how you have to solve questions, make topics. I'll be coming up with more stat topics, correct? I'll be doing more static GK topics. Please associate with me. Have a look. Keep uh, be tuned in with Oliveboard channel. You'll have a look. You'll have an idea of how upcoming sessions are. I'll tell you some important tricks how to remember. Okay. And in my regular classes also, I keep telling more and more important tricks. Correct. And we do it in a more deeper manner. We dive deep in it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the session. Please put your comments in the section. we'll come up with more classes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.